Title: The Mighty Zola and the Fearful Chijioke. In a small village by a great mountain, there lived a woman named Zola. She was known for her amazing strength. Zola could carry huge baskets of yams with one hand, heal people using plants from the forest, and even make the wind blow gently when it was too hot. She was loved by everyone in the village, but there was one thing that made her different: her husband, Chijioke. Chijioke was a quiet man. He was kind, gentle, and loved Zola deeply, but the villagers were afraid of him. They said his eyes glowed like fire and that he could control animals. Some even said he had once called a lion to protect his family from robbers. The villagers didn't understand his power, and they feared him. But Zola loved him because she knew the truth. Chijioke wasn't a danger. He had been cursed many years ago, and his powers made people scared. One evening, when the moon was full, an old woman came to Zola's house. She was hunched with age but had bright, sharp eyes. "I can lift the curse from your husband," the old woman said, "but you must give up something in return." Zola listened carefully. "If you want Chijioke to no longer scare the villagers, you must give up the very thing that makes you strong. When the curse is lifted, you will lose your own powers." Zola thought about it. She loved her husband so much, and she knew how much he suffered from being feared. But giving up her powers? She had spent her life helping others with her strength. How could she choose to lose that? But her love for Chijioke was stronger than anything. "I accept," she said. The old woman smiled, and in a flash of light, the curse was lifted. The next morning, Chijioke woke up feeling different. The dark power that made people fear him was gone. He felt calm and happy. But when he looked at Zola, he saw that something was wrong. She was weaker than before, her body no longer filled with strength. "Zola, what happened?" Chijioke cried, rushing to her. "I gave up my power for you," Zola whispered. "Now you are free from the curse, but I have lost my strength." Chijioke felt sad and guilty. He had been feared by others for so long, but now, seeing Zola weak, he knew that he could never be truly happy unless she was strong again. "I must make this right," Chijioke said. He went to find the old woman who had lifted the curse. When he found her, he said, "I don't want my power if it means Zola has to lose hers. How can I ever repay her for giving up so much for me?" The old woman smiled. "You have learned a great lesson. True strength does not come from power, it comes from love. But you must choose what you want." Chijioke thought hard. Then he said, "I will give up my power. I don't want to hurt Zola anymore." The old woman nodded, and Chijioke gave up his strength. The sky grew dark, and the ground shook, but he stood still, giving up the power that had once made people fear him. When Chijioke returned to Zola, she felt something change inside her. Her strength began to return. She was no longer weak. "I have learned, Zola," Chijioke said, taking her hand. "True strength is not about having power. It is about the love we share and the sacrifices we make for each other." Zola smiled, feeling her strength grow again. "And that is a power that no curse can take away." From that day on, Chijioke and Zola lived happily in the village. No one feared Chijioke anymore, and though Zola's strength was not as great as before, she had something far more valuable: a love that could overcome any challenge. Together, they proved that love is the greatest power of all.